and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.
Step outside of your comfort zone. See the world with a whole new perspective. Join us and experience the unexplained on the Paranormal View.
And welcome everybody right here to the Paranormal View on the ParaX Radio Network. I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, those in the chat room and those listening from around the world. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you are listening from somewhere other than in the chat room, feel free to come over to para-x.com, click on the live chat button, and you will be in with all these wonderful people, and you'll be able to interact with them and interact with us. And you can interact with us by sending a private chat to either Ceiling Kat, Jeffrey Gould, co-host Kat, or myself, Henry Foister. We will get those questions answered for you. And if you're listening from somewhere else and you got a question, you can take and send it to theparanormalview@gmail.com and just put attention question, and we will get that right over and answered for you. Tonight we have a show of a cast of thousands, and I mean it feels like that many. Not only are they live, but some's dead also.
Yeah.
We are broadcasting live tonight from the Historic Fairfield Inn in Fairfield, Pennsylvania, just outside of Gettysburg. So we have all kinds of people here tonight. We've had a crazy weekend because we investigated last night with, I don't know, a couple of crazy people. And then we tried to go out on the battlefield today, and we couldn't because it was pouring rain, and then we did some other things. And
that didn't stop me.
Now we're here tonight with all these crazy people.
Is that live or unlive? I'm not sure.
We had a great time last night, though. We're going to start off tonight, and we have with us Eric and Rebecca, and we're going to talk to them just for a few minutes. They are now owning ParaX, and they said if I'm not good, that'll be my last show.
We're shutting you off immediately.
So we have to do good on this show.
My finger's on the switch. Be quick.
So I want to welcome you guys to the Paranormal View.
Thank you.
No, thank you. It's quite an honor, Henry.
How do you welcome someone who owns it?
Yeah, really.
Excellent point.
You have to be gracious and, on bended knee and all that.
I'll take an extra beer.
No, I'll definitely take an extra beer.
Kat will get it for you.
Room service from the pub, please.
Which cat? There's two of us.
Whichever brings me the next beer.
There you go. All right. You guys just got in today, but you're only going to be here for just a little while. So you've never been here to the Historic Fairfield Inn?
Correct.
What do you think of it just walking in?
It's freaking awesome. It's such a cool and imposing structure from the outside, and then you walk in and every inch kind of oozes history. It's great.
It is. It's a very interesting place.
And there was some guy followed me up the stairs, and then I turned around and he was gone.
He was gone.
So Eric's a ninja then? Or, oh, wait, no.
I would say as I was sitting at the pub enjoying a spirit of liquid variety, I can totally imagine a spirit of a different variety sort of sitting next to me and enjoying the same pint. But like I said, if the walls could talk in this place, they definitely would speak volumes.
Have you been up and down all 3 floors?
Yeah.
Have you been in the basement?
Not the basement yet.
They had some go down in the basement last night. I told them I'm not trying to maneuver on those stairs. So I don't know what's down there.
Yeah, I already banged my head on that.
Did you cast some blood or?
No. But basically what happened is the stairs are very narrow, and at the very bottom there's an air duct. And Josh, who is the general manager here, kept warning everyone, mind your head. everyone succeeded getting down there.
Except for you.
Except for me. I am,
Congratulations.
I think, the shortest one here, save for Tammy, and I bonked my head right on that air duct. So.
Isn't there an easier way to dye your hair red?
Thanks, Jeff.
He's a smart ass of the group.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
We're going from like bluish gray. We can add in like a little streak of red.
Yeah.
But still young. We can definitely add it for you.
That. Yeah.
He's not the only one that's like that though. There's another one sitting over there that's kind of like
nice. Multiple smarty pants.
Yeah.
That's why they're called a pair of pants.
Parapants. Excellent. Good form. Good form.
There he is.
By the way,
all this coming from a guy who's saying, "Have you ever been to the basement?" while he's pointing up.
That's true.
Soba. Excellent. All right.
Kat,
Yes.
can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So all these people out here might want to know, what are you doing?
I am live streaming us on Facebook right now.
So we're on Facebook Live right
yes,
now.
you are.
So if they wanted to see you live on Facebook, how would they want to see us?
Actually, I'm using it through my personal account, but it's...
Oh, bugger.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Jeff. I wasn't fast enough to... I'll switch over to the Paranormal View group account. But at the moment, you can find me at Kat Klockow on Facebook. So it's facebook.com/Kat Klockow, KATKLOCKOW, and it's public, so you should be able to be watching this anyway.
Oh,
Now, is that recordable, or is that just your...
Yeah,
there it is.
Download this later.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah.
Drawback is, Jeff, we can't hear your voice or Barbara's. So right now, it sounds like I'm literally speaking to the dead.
Nice. At least the voice is in your head, right?
Yeah. One of the voices in my head is a smarmy guy from Hollywood. Jeff never existed. It's just me doing voices.
So what do you do besides ParaX, Eric?
Besides ParaX, in the private world, I actually work in the insurance field, believe it or not. And like I said, I'm sorry, you were going to pipe in my
I'll
other
be
half?
good. I promise.
I'll be good.
Why?
Is that why I got that email, something about having to take out an insurance policy?
That might be part of it, yeah. No, but like I said, ParaX is one part of my life. Paranormal investigating is another. I mean, the group that I belong with outside of ParaX is part of a major paranormal, what do we call it, paranormal chain?
Sure.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is that?
You're my paranormal minion. What?
What's the name of it?
Otherwise known as TAPS.
Oh, you're with TAPS?
Yes.
Well, no. We're part of the TAPS family teams.
Okay.
Correct. So we're the Philadelphia affiliate for the TAPS family.
Okay, gotcha.
So that takes a significant part of it. Hence, like I said, ParaX is like a sort of like a sister to that particular endeavor. But like I said, in the real world, quote unquote, I like I said, I do insurance and management. That's kind of scary.
You're boring.
I know. I do the boring corporate crap. I wear a shirt and tie and sit in my cube and whack at computer keys all day. It's actually dreadfully boring.
Yeah, except Eric, you also worked in the mental health field extensively as well.
I did for 12 years before I came to my senses, I guess. Well, like I say, it takes one to know one. I did actually work in the psychiatric field. I worked in an inpatient psychiatric hospital as a clinician. It's where Harvard School of Medicine does their psychiatry rounds. So it's well-renowned. I'm not going to mention the name of the hospital, but that's actually where I spent most of my time learning clinical psychology. Yeah, I guess it as they say, it definitely takes one to know one.
So I understand why you're here tonight then, because there is plenty of nuts here.
I feel like I'm in good company. I can hand around my business card, but I think that's kind of. I'll just cease and desist. I'll just back away from the mic now.
Why is he tongue-tied?
He's trying to be good.
I've had plenty of time at the pub. You would think I would not be.
We have this problem where we can't tell other shows that they have to be good and then not do that.
Oh.
So we're learning.
I always behave. Like I said, whenever I broadcast, like I said, this is like a set part of my show. I always have a beverage of some sort, usually a single malt scotch on the rocks on one hand. I have a great cigar on the other. And then at some point actually produce and press buttons and stuff and actually host and stuff?
No one needs to know what you do with your nose during the show.
I thought that was private. Actually, we're on Facebook. I can't do that now because there's probably kids watching. But right?
No.
There's no kid. All right, so maybe no, I'm not going to do that now. But yeah, maybe. Who knows how many drinks I might have before the night's over. But like I said, whatever I do in my private time that you can't see, because hence, like I say, I have a face made for radio. Whatever I do in like in my personal radio space is like me time. No one knows.
Except all the people listening.
Yeah, and everyone can now see how excited Henry is.
Look at the smile on his face. I mean,
It's just like,
you might have to back away from the table.
Can you make sure to show this giant computer he's got going on?
I'm saying, where
This
are
impressive.
both of your hands right now? I can only.
I hope they're attached to my arm.
I hope so, but I can only see one hand. Back away from the table. The smile on your face is unbelievable. Are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I'm just listening to you guys.
well, he was whipping it out apparently at the Schreiber
We might
house.
have we have an EMP on session. Are you sure?
Wait. Hold on. Stop talking. What?
Well,
Suddenly a family show went away there.
yeah, we're not a family show this weekend. So, Kat, were you with them at the Schreiber house?
Yes.
Was he indeed whipping it out constantly and startling the poor tour guide docent?
Oh, always. And she thought that we were a bunch of nuts and in good company.
What was he whipping out?
I don't know, Kat.
Can we say that on the radio?
Kat, what was he whipping out?
About that part, didn't we?
Well, you've heard the saying, whatever happens in Gettysburg stays in Gettysburg.
Oh, look out!
Oh, they can't hear you talking.
What's the PG-13 version for that?
Yeah.
Apparently doesn't want to get up.
Come up to the mic,
Come up to the mic.
please.
You sound like a distant
please.
ghost.
Come right up. I want to hear this. What was the PG-13 version of that?
I said
You
everybody
have to get
says
closer.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
whatever happens in Gettysburg stays in Gettysburg. So I'm not telling what's happening with Henry.
Oh, was there Facebook video of that? I hope.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. And what was that? What was that account again?
Which one?
Whatever had the video of what Henry was whipping out.
You mean the Para Triple X?
We have a new station?
It will be available on eBay shortly.
That I did not know about. That's awesome. Dang. Nice. Thank you for letting me know.
You should never open your mouth.
Good form, Kat. Good form.
Never again, Henry.
Good form.
Oh man,
We're all mad here.
you guys,
It helps.
thank you guys for being able to make it here and be with us. I just hope you guys understand that when we get together to do our escape shows, you might say,
We can get away from this?
we're escaping from everything else to just to be crazy
They
here.
won't let us get away from it.
Yeah, we just laugh and are crazy the whole weekend that we're here. So I mean, that's all we was doing last night was before we started the investigation was just talking and laughing. carrying
About
on.
goats.
Did you say goats or goats?
Goats.
Apparently it totes or goats.
And little kid will eat ivy. What? Huh? Did I
Goat
miss something?
hunters.
Oh my goodness.
We're all just trying to.
Goat hunters.
I mean,
Yeah, we're all just trying to butt in now.
Oh, goat hunters.
I'm
Henry
halfway-
fights a goat.
I'm halfway sober, but yet I don't understand what the heck you're talking about.
Clearly, we missed something by showing up late.
You have to tell the story if you're going to say something.
Can I get the
about
program of the Cliff Notes? What?
I know. So everyone. So we were standing, having dinner, I guess, and Henry was doing one of his best descriptions of an animal ever. And what was that description of an animal, Henry?
I think whatever he's drinking is going
it.
to come out of
I
his
don't even
nose.
remember.
I'm trying to remember myself. But it was like that goat thing with hooves. That animal with hooves. That goat thing. And it was just at the phrase, that goat thing, that just made me crack up and I started crying from the laughter. Yeah.
So it's not like Black Phillip showed up from the Witch movie, or
No, not
No.
that cute. Oh, I know what it was. Steve, you were talking about thumping in one of your investigations, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Thumper. And it was
Is that like if the bedroom's thumping, don't come a nunkin or something?
Henry immediately said, well, there was an animal like that back in the 1800s. They had pictures of it. I've seen them.
Yes, that's what it was.
It's better than saying he took them.
Is that legal in
wasn't what I
Pennsylvania?
said. No, I didn't say that.
Yes, he did.
No, I
You
said
had like 20 witnesses, dude.
I said
It's over. Time to lay down.
There's a bed right over there.
There's quite a few people on it, though.
That there is true.
Whoa. Well, yes.
no, they can't. So,
No, they can't what?
Barbara, do you have any questions for these guys?
Is she okay?
Did you break her?
I don't know. Is Barbara still on?
I think, has anybody done an alcohol meter test on all of you?
I refuse to take that. That's a violation of my Fourth Amendment.
And fifth.
You're
Illegal
going to break him, Barbara.
Hear what she said.
They get the Rorschach cards out,
Did anyone put an alcohol test on any of you?
We all came back positive. Yes. All right, and that sort of squares that away.
I will say the owner of this particular establishment also owns a winery here in the county.
Right.
So there's plenty of...
Wait, is that why for dinner I had Tears of Gettysburg?
Yeah, maybe.
Nice. Okay.
Wow.
It's called what?
It's called
Tears of Gettysburg.
Really?
Yes.
It's a little salty.
Actually, there was a chunk of something in the last glass I had, so
Ooh.
it might have been.
That's nasty. Chunks of something. Oh, that's so gross. Dare I ask what the chunk was?
Like rock salt or something?
It looks a little salty.
I can't touch that one. 10-foot
If it
pole.
was rock salt, we have serious problems.
You guys going to keep on. Eric's going to pull a plug on my show.
Where's the switch? Where's the switch?
No, I am the keeper of the red button. You just sit over there.
Yeah, the switch is right
Now,
up.
normally we have to wait like minutes before it gets this insane on these live Gettysburg shows.
It's been like this since Thursday.
Aren't you glad you had us over?
We are glad that you guys.
You second guessing that, like you give me like the signal, like never again. What the bleep are we thinking?
Next time we're going far, far away from
Exactly.
you.
Don't tell these people that are showing up.
Let me tell you, you guys ain't going to be the worst one that's on tonight.
Well, we have to behave. We haven't let the toddler loose.
There's some others that's going to be coming up that, just top you guys all over.
We're going to listen live. Let me just tell you on the ride home.
I hope so.
Behave.
Well, now that the new site is almost ready, it will be mobile enhanced, so I can listen the whole way home.
Oh, that's nice.
Mobile enhanced.
It will.
Oh,
be.
you didn't know that. That's right.
Are you getting a Para X app or something?
Yes.
I'm very sorry. Hold on. Exclusive news. No,
Oh.
our new site that's coming shortly is actually mobile responsive, so you guys will all be able to hear the whole way home on your phones.
So not only a very nice and very beautiful new PowerX website, but also mobile enhanced.
Very
So you
good.
listen to PowerX on your mobile phone.
Fancy.
Yes, because I can't do the chat room on my Android. It is a whatever the
On your Android.
what?
You still won't be able to do the chat room. Sorry.
But you'll be able to listen in live digital sound.
Well, I was doing that with Tuned In app when I was in London back in 2013. It was like 1 a.m, but I was able to listen to the show live. But I couldn't go into the chat room, but I was able to communicate with the show via Twitter and such like that.
Yeah, we're still working on the chat room, so small baby steps.
Small baby steps. There you go.
So you guys got an exclusive. There you go.
Ooh. I feel important now.
Yeah.
You should.
And
I was going to save that for our show. I was like, nah.
Oh.
Mostly because I was just excited I got it to work.
High five. High
That
five.
was like the
All
worst
right.
high five ever.
Backhand. Thank you.
You invented the backhand high five.
That is too much work.
Well, that sounds very good. So, anything you guys got you want to ask these guys that was investigating last night?
All right, so I want to know who was laying in bed and was getting bounced around, because I heard that story.
Is that a paranormal moment? Is that
Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't know. I just heard bits and pieces that somebody was sitting on a bed or lying in bed and they were being touched. I don't know.
Don't look out. This
that was Kat.
Oh, look out! This might be going in territory we not want. But
yeah, seriously.
I will volunteer my mic for this one, please.
Yeah, Kat, did you have someone join you in bed last night?
Oh, look out! Please step right up to the mic.
Yeah, Carrie was there.
Who was there?
Oh,
oh, this is getting even better. I want a front row seat. Please come right up to the mic.
Okay. Yeah, Carrie and I were in our one room, and it was about 5 o'clock in the morning. I had to get up and take care of some business, and got back in bed, and Carrie was snoring, so I could hear her, but then suddenly I hear something breathing, almost like they were having a hard time breathing, like they were rasping, almost like a dog panting, and the next thing I know, I feel a hand, knee, literally coming up from the bottom of the bed, coming up in between the two of us, and by the time they got face to us, they just stopped breathing and collapsed. And I knew it wasn't her, so I just thought that was interesting. She slept right through it, but...
So she missed it, but would you chalk that up to as a good experience or not a good experience?
It was weird.
In between, it was kind of weird.
Yeah, just weird. I mean, I've had stranger things happen before, so...
I can only imagine.
Yeah, of course I had to check and make sure that it wasn't Henry. But
all right. Stop the show right there. All right,
How do I get involved?
Put the brakes on right there.
Wait, did they leave you their number at least?
There was no business card, no number, nothing.
No, just an impression on the bed.
Just call me, maybe. No, nothing. Dang, why don't I get those experiences?
Oh, I've never had a bed do impressions before. Oh wait,
All right, well, I think we should turn the mics over to somebody who's actually been here and more exciting than us.
Yes.
Not here?
We're not exciting.
Oh.
You're right. We should turn.
Really?
You guys are brilliant.
Well, I didn't
Thank
say
you.
that.
I appreciate that. Our 18-month-old is saying it's time for me to go to bed, so we need to focus our attentions elsewhere, I think.
I'm going to open.
Well, it's pretty vocal for an 18-month-old.
Exactly. That's her voice right there. I just channeled her through.
That was
there she is, right there.
Ah, okay.
Sure.
I would say, baby vulture saying there's
Kind of more like a ventriloquist act or something.
Very nice. All right, so let's turn over our mics.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Who we got coming up next?
If we can get... Oh, yeah, that's really helpful, guys. That's super helpful.
We need two.
We're not all seeing the live stream, by the way.
It's Steve and Tabby. Oh, thank you, Mike. Yeah.
I don't care what two.
Steve Shockley?
Somebody got to
Yes, sorry. Anyway, and the live stream.
And we got...
Oh, Don!
So, yeah, it was Steve and Tabby Cat pointing at each other. Like, yeah, go talk to them.
Sit down and get up to the mic. Okay, we now have Kat Gash, known as Tabby. She is not in the chat room because she is live here. We also have Don Rickles. Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, hockey puck.
We have Steve Shockley, known as Rock with a Shock.
Well, that's right. Now that I can't see the mic. I'm right here. Actually, what Tabby didn't tell you was that it was hand, knee, heavy breathing, hand, knee. What are you wearing? And the goat said, yeah.
You guys ain't right.
And there it is.
You just now figured that out?
And all right, for our listeners that are listening in chat room and around the world, you can now find us at the Paranormal View community page. There's a live feed there of what's going on now.
Live feed on the Paranormal View community page.
Yep.
Yes. So we are being streamed live. I don't know why, but we are.
Because I feel like it.
And she said she can do it, so we're going to see what it's like. Funny, though, why the camera is not turned on her none.
Now it is.
Okay, good.
Hi, everyone.
See? All right.
Is this through a camera or through the phone?
Just through my.
I guess through the phone.
iPhone.
Yeah.
You're doing it landscape or portrait?
It's portrait. Sorry.
What's wrong, Jeff?
No, it's just people still doing that.
Well, in all fairness, Jeff, you can shoot it with your iPhone or your Android, either landscape or portrait. However, regardless of the position your phone is in, it will broadcast over Facebook as portrait only.
Will it? Oh, I would have thought that Facebook would be able to make it look, regular.
They
Right.
haven't gotten there yet.
So if she turns the camera, it'll go in the landscape for her, but everybody viewing it on Facebook will look like they've been wearing a neck brace for 9 years.
Yeah. We'll all have to turn sideways.
Yeah.
Okay. Last night,
Yes,
we
sir.
got to investigate this place.
Yes.
We broke up into groups.
Yes, we did. And then we threw in the basement and locked the door.
And I believe Kat was with you. Tabby Cat was with you. Steve was with us. We did upstairs to start with. You guys went to the basement to start with.
No, I wasn't with that.
Where were you at?
I was upstairs here in this room.
Oh, you was up here with us. You was the only one who went to the basement.
I was in the basement with Nancy DeTardra and Josh and
Don.
And Mike.
And Don.
And Don.
And Don.
And
Tammy.
There you are.
Well, where is Nancy at? Is she supposed to be here tonight?
Nancy is on her way, as well as Tiffany and Joe.
And Tiffany and Joe.
Yeah.
Okay. So we got others coming. Carrie is not up here. You may not see her up here, and I'll tell you why. I can't get her to talk.
It's well, we saw her earlier.
Yeah.
I shot a video. She walked through, so she exists.
She exists.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get her up here in just a little bit. So with that, let's start with the basement. You went to the basement. What'd you guys see down there?
Well, mostly, most of the time that we were down there, myself and Don both, we saw white lights. Tammy also saw the white lights, kind of moving around. We saw a certain amount of shadows, and what we kind of picked up on more than anything else was a number of African Americans that were probably there as part of the movement of the Underground Railroad. A great deal of sadness, a great deal of strife, a little bit of closed off feeling, and Nancy and I both picked up on a young man that was a soldier. We figured out that he came from Tennessee. Tammy thought that he maybe smoked a cigar or something. I said, no, he had a chaw in his mouth, which means that he was chewing tobacco. And it was just an interesting feel down there, but it was just really odd that we saw those white lights. And they had a tendency to hover around the manager here, Josh. And he felt it too. We felt strange cold spots. The EMF detector was going up and down. The temperature was fluctuating. And it was just an interesting feel. You know, it felt very sad. You really couldn't stay down there for too long.
Yeah, and there's a lot of EMF down there because Darcy was doing a EMF sweep of the place, and she suggested that no one stay down there longer than a half an hour.
We're missing Craig. Where's he at?
He and Carrie are probably.
We got Tina.
Yeah.
Where is Darcy? Did Darcy leave or something? Is she here?
We haven't seen her. She went off to go do something and haven't been.
Disappeared?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Maybe the place has a portal and they all got.
What's with you and portals?
I don't know. That's what these guys keep telling me on Ghost Stalkers or whatever. Their place
Guess it's better than having a thing with porta potties.
They got those all over the battlefield, so you can't miss them.
Yeah. So was that all you guys got down there?
Pretty much. I listened to some of my audio. I didn't get anything on my
Nothing on
audio per se,
I have not
but
listened to any of mine yet. So
you know, just bits and pieces. Now, most of the activity, at least last night, happened in Tina's room more than anything else. At least for me, it's just wow.
Activity in Tina's room?
Yeah, activity
Really?
in Tina's room.
Wow.
Look, just because the chandelier is broke, I don't want to talk about it.
Wow, they broke the chandelier.
Yeah,
Apparently.
Oh
What did
my
you
God.
guys do after we left?
Who was doing the Tarzan yell?
The who?
That's not the kind of swinger party we should be talking about.
Are you trying to say they were swinging on the chandelier?
More likely jumping on the bed and hitting her head on it.
Is that what he was doing?
No, anyway, I'm looking at the streaming video, and I've always heard voices, so I'm not necessarily catching who's who. Visual. I mean, obviously we're looking at Henry right now.
Oh, you are? Really?
And you're
Well, hi.
slowly panning.
We are.
It might be running a little slow, maybe behind what she's...
It may be a few seconds, delay. Now we're looking at pensive Kat and
Yeah.
I guess that's Steve?
Yeah. I guess that's Steve.
I don't know. We haven't met in person.
Yes, that's Steve.
Well, that's right, Jeffrey. Tell him what he's won, Bob. He's won these keys to a brand new screen door.
Yeah, the time sync is way off, so yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's right. That's the way you get my jokes minutes later. Built-in delay. Does anybody else smell citrus? Orange?
Yes.
Yes, I sprayed that in the
Oh,
bathroom
okay.
first.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, that goat again.
Yeah, that was a funky.
Aren't you glad it's not spirit?
you having problems?
Yeah, I don't have
Why?
any plans for life.
What do you need?
I just need to plug in my phone into my computer so I can have power.
Oh, she's about to go away.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, if she loses power, she is.
If
So,
she has any more wires sticking out,
we have-
I know, right?
she's going to
There
take
it is.
off.
we have a ton of people on here.
Yeah, I don't have
We
any
was up
plans.
in Steve's room for a little bit, asking questions and shining lights,
Right.
the grid light, and trying to get anything. Did we ever get anything?
I don't know if we got anything because I really didn't listen to the. I have to listen to EVPs on
I
headphones,
haven't
but
either. So
Tammy and I went downstairs for breakfast this morning, and when we came back upstairs, my door was locked with the deadbolt from the inside. The deadbolt, the top deadbolt, which I don't have a key for, was the only one locked, and it had to be locked from the inside. And other than that door, there's no access to my room. So we found that to be a very interesting statement, being locked out.
Mm-hmm.
very good. I know how they done it. Tina came in through the.
No, you know what?
did breakfast
I
with
checked. No, that door locks on Tina's side and my side. She can undo the bolt from her side, but I checked. My side of this door was locked. There's no way anyone could have come in through that door.
Wow.
Yeah.
And Carrie and I were having problems with our door
Yeah.
where it refused to lock. And Josh was telling me this evening that up until we got here, he hasn't had any problems with that door.
Oh.
Of
Real.
course, this is what happens when Steve doesn't pay his mini bar bill.
Right. So we
Isn't
just
that on somebody else's check?
so we just had Josh walk into the
Yes.
room, and he's the general manager.
We're going to try and get him in.
Yes.
And
I like
talk
how
with him
Kat's
for a
like,
few
and I'm
minutes.
gone.
We're going to talk with him for a few minutes
Yeah.
and find out about the historic haunted Fairfield Inn.
Yeah.
So,
Here you go, sir. Have a seat.
All right, thank you.
all right, you just have to be up close to the microphone.
All right.
Fine.
Is that good?
That's good. Perfectly. And you are the
General manager of the
General
Historic Fairfield Inn. I've been the general manager here since July of 2016, but I was also a chef here from August 2010 until the end of 2011.
Wow. So then you've been here and heard some of the stories about different things that happen here,
Yes.
and you've had some personal experiences also.
Yes, I've had personal experiences. I've heard lots of stories and seen lots of pictures that surprised me at times.
Okay. First, before we actually start finding out about it, I want to take the time to actually thank you for letting us come in, do our show from here, and all the hospitality that you guys have really shown us.
Well, thank you, and thank you for coming here. I've had a great time, especially last night, staying with everyone, getting to meet everyone, and this morning at breakfast, hearing how good of a time everyone had.
And I heard that because we were so nuts that this is our last trip.
Did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Just kidding. We've had a great time, though. But you see how nutty we are, and we just laugh all the time. What's some of the things? Now, you wasn't a believer to start with.
No, I never really believed. I'm not someone who's usually in tune to that sense where you see people, feel the presences. I never knew much about it. It never really followed into the ghost hunting. I would do the ghost walks in Gettysburg occasionally just because it's something to do, and it's popular in Gettysburg, and there's not much else to do in this area other than drink on a evening. So it's either go out, have some drinks, or go on a ghost hunt. And it's
I'll
good to
drink
change
to
it
that.
up. I know. You go ghost hunting or Gettysburg ghost tour and then have a few drinks, but it was never really more of a believer. It was more of like, it's entertainment.
Oh. Barbara, if you and Jeff have questions, just jump right in, because I'm sure that you guys probably have a lot.
Well, I was just trying to look up Josh online, and apparently the historic, the fairfieldinn.com does not mention the staff, so I can't really link to him yet.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll find him.
That kind of sounds like a threat. I'll find him.
Actually, the site that does vaguely refer to ghosts, but it doesn't really focus on it.
Okay, Okay, never mind. Sorry, Jeff. Say that again.
I was saying that the site sort of vaguely, if you look up the word ghost in their search term, it'll bring up blogs like, well, they say there's some, there might be experiences, but it doesn't really focus on it. Sort of like, please stay here and enjoy our ghosts.
Yeah, the owner does not believe in ghosts. When I tell him I'm staying all night with everyone to ghost hunt, he just has a look at me like, Josh, really, you're going to do that? And I said, yeah, I enjoy it. Our guests enjoy it. And this is something that, the part of our goal is to make sure guests that come to Gettysburg have the experience they want. If they want a ghost experience, the Fairfield Inn is a great place for them to come. If they want a historical experience, it's a great place to come. If they don't believe in ghosts, it's still a great place because we're going to give you great hospitality, and I will make you not believe that you're going to be scared from a ghost if I have to do that.
And you have a bar, and you also have dining.
Yes, that is correct.
And then tonight, it's not a historical reenactment, but there's a special dinner happening.
Yes, the second and fourth Saturdays of the month, we have a Civil War era dinner magic show with Civil War era ghost stories.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
It is.
Yeah.
But we also do other historical events. We have historical reenactors that do Abraham Lincoln, Robert E. Lee, Ulysses S. Grant, telling the stories of those historical figures that stopped in the area at various times.
Wow, that's neat.
There's a magic show with it as well?
Yes, for the Civil War era dinner theater, we do a Civil War era magic show, and then the person changes character and tells ghost stories of the area.
And how can people get tickets or learn about more of the events?
They can go to www.thefairfieldinn.com and click on the events tab. It should be updated for the events through the end of July. And then also they can give me a call at 717-642-5410. If I don't answer the phone, leave me a message.
Okay, thank you. And we just got a comment in the chat room from Cater, and he says, I just saw the menu and I'm hungry now. The menu for the Fairfield Inn. It's all delicious food.
I recommend the pork medallions. It's a dish that the chef and I co-created
Oh.
together. but the ham and bean soup with the chicken and biscuits is what we are famous for.
Yeah, the biscuits are delicious.
Yeah, and I had the pork medallions last night. They were good.
Yeah.
Yes. Very
The
good.
crab cakes are to die for. No pun intended.
Yeah.
So what's some of the things that you actually have had happen to you that you've seen?
A lot of the stories revolve around the coins. Our well used to be behind the inn, and when they closed off the well, the tradition became people would put coins on the walls, in the cracks in the walls, and we'd have wishing walls instead. So I find coins in the weirdest places where no one else should be able to go except me and the staff. About 2 weeks ago, I grabbed a ladder out of a closet in the back in the kitchen, and about 87 cents, I think it was, fell off the ladder. It's in a closet. It's away from guests. No one's leaving coins around the house for that. Coins just randomly start falling from there. I've opened my walk-in refrigerator and had coins just fall and start rolling across the walk-in refrigerator. Again, not a place where anyone's allowed to place coins, visit, see the inn at this time.
And these are current coins, or not like Civil War coins?
These are all current. Last year we collected $237.
Whoa!
That we collected and donated to the organization Polio Plus to help end polio around the world.
Wow, ghosts really know how to tip.
Yes, and our guests do too.
So when guests stay here, and I think I can ask this question, Tina, you'd be okay with it. Tiffany would be like, no. What are the most reported ghost encounters that people are having at the Historic Fairfield Inn?
A lot of it, people that are more sensible to it than me, still a lot of people talk about the apps that they use on their phones. A lot of people love the phone app system. So, I had a couple here a couple weeks ago that talked about the first time they stayed here about 2 years ago when they first started dating. They were laying in the bed, had the app out, and it was saying inappropriate, constantly. So, the phone apps actually seem to have worked around here for very things. Someone asked, what do you think of the owner? And they had the response, Cram, which is the owner's name.
Oh, that's neat.
And that's not a usual word that any of us would use except for the name of the owner.
Right.
And we've had people in the chat room say that the chicken and biscuits are good there. So
yes,
we know that somebody that's listening tonight has been here.
Well, great. Thank you.
And Patsy said Josh is a star, so you're a big hit, I guess.
Yes.
Well, thank you.
So, what when you wasn't a believer, what was some of the first things that happened to you that made you start wondering maybe there's something to this paranormal?
Just the people that I would talk to were very enthralled by it, and it interested them. So, just started looking at it, and I remember one time someone had set up a deer hunting trail cam in their room. And while the lady was getting dressed, it was taking pictures, and there was a Civil War figure standing in front of her while she was in her undergarments that she showed me the picture of. And I couldn't disprove that there would be a ghost in front of her because it looked like a Civil War figure of a ghost standing in front of her watching her get dressed.
And which
and that
room
was
this in?
Oh, yours, Kat.
Oh, perfect.
So everyone's is it a request on the line for Kat to post pictures from her room now?
Oh no, this is not going to go a good way.
It's not.
No.
No, we
and
had,
Steve hasn't even been able to chime in with a joke on that yet.
Yeah, really.
his tongue's tied.
I'm just enjoying watching the expressions on Kat's face. I don't believe I've seen that shade of red before.
Red, white, and blue. She's the U.S. flag.
She's very patriotic. Now she's going to pose tonight. Dun, 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 dun.
And then we'll get a bunch of soldiers. Oh, man, that's funny.
Well, we've got the whole hotel. Most of the people, or a lot of the people that was with us last night and tonight, had rooms. They got rooms that they're
Yes.
staying here.
Mm-hmm.
I blocked off all the rooms, would not let anyone else except your group stay tonight because I wanted to make sure you had the best experience, and I didn't want any other guests to risk having a bad experience if you were up and 3 in the morning, you're still doing your paranormal investigation. It's a 260-year-old house. You cannot walk around without making noise.
Right. Very
That's
true
very
on that.
true.
Yes.
Which is funny because this morning, I think Kat's actually holding the Facebook live stream right now, but you heard people walking around on the second floor because both of our rooms are on the second floor. And I know it woke me up enough that I actually wrote a little sign because our breakfasts are usually served at 8:30 here.
8:30, yes.
And they are fantastic. But for us, because we were all the private party, you moved it to 10 a.m. for us. Thank you so much. We all needed extra sleep.
So did I. Don't. Well, it was a little self-centered too. Don't.
But I could hear somebody walking around as well, and so I wrote a quick little note and put it on the floor so everyone else could read it if they happened to walk by. That said, breakfast is going to be at 10, not at 8:30, because I could hear people walking around. Yeah, it turns out it was no one in the actual.
Yeah, I was
hotel.
still asleep.
Yeah, it was. We were hearing somebody walking around.
When we first got here on the Friday night, before anybody got here, I was here and Tabby Cat came into my room. We had a little chat, and then Mike showed up, and we could hear people walking outside my door. First a couple of footsteps, and then 2 sets of footsteps, and then 3. And we figured that they were, we got an EVP, and all we could hear is, "Where's Cat's room?"
Which is hilarious because there is not like a lot of activity.
So when you get a shower tonight, just remember, go away. Go away.
Yeah.
They'll be there.
Yeah. Actually, we haven't gotten into any of the history of the building.
All right. Well, the land here was deeded in 1755 by the Calverts of Maryland. The original part of the house was built in Maryland. It never moved. Maryland and Pennsylvania were arguing who owns what land. In 1760, Mason and Dixon began their expedition to create the line. In 1767, the line was official. We were to pay taxes to the Quakers in Pennsylvania and no longer to the Catholics in Maryland. So people were, at the time, were also arguing by their religion is how they would want to pay their taxes, not just necessarily because everyone argued who owned this land.
Mm-hmm.
Then, in the 1786, the children built an addition to the house. That's where most of our guest rooms are, and built the inn and tavern. It's been in continuous operation depending on what you're 1786 to 1820, and continually operating ever since then, depending on just where you read the information.
Wow.
Some prominent people that stayed here. We believe Patrick Henry may have. His aunt was the original owner of the house.
Oh.
Give me liberty or give me death. And then Thaddeus Stevens would come here, have a drink. He was building a railroad in the area called the Tapeworm Railroad. He was...
I love that name.
What the heck would they name it that?
I was a way to insult the railroad. A lot of people didn't like Thaddeus Stevens. He owned a steel mill in the area, so he made the railroad the longest possible route to get around the mountains, and it would wind its way around the mountains like a tapeworm. So it was a way to insult his railroad. He was profiteering off of the government and building this railroad and creating its route because he owned the steel to build the rails.
That is unbelievable to think that a lawyer would do that.
That's correct. You never would think a lawyer and politician would ever con money out of the government.
I'm shocked.
Just want to let you know, because you don't have a computer, one of your favorites is on here.
One of my favorites?
Yeah. She flies around on a broom.
On a balloon?
Yeah, on a balloon.
It's Marla in Up.
Like to fly on my friendly balloon. Marla!
And all this time, I thought I was Steve's favorite.
Oh! Oh! He's speechless.
Do you happen to crawl on your hands and knees while breathing heavy?
Excuse me?
Oh, I don't know. There's nothing I can say to that,
Yeah.
Susie, but
You had him speechless.
well, not quite.
My job is done.
Hi, Marla.
Of course, she's not saying anything.
Yeah,
In
well,
spring, she may be
typing in
flying
the room?
around on a bloom.
On a balloon.
On a bloom.
All right. Well, you guys, if you ever get a chance to come up to this the Fairfield Inn,
Yes.
1757, the historic Fairfield Inn, you will not be disappointed. It's not only an incredible building, but an incredible piece of history with some absolute activity.
Oh, yes.
But the staff is incredible. It's
Yes.
this guy here bent over backwards to make every moment of our stay the best ever.
Let's not forget that they have specially gotten a landline for Henry's computer so we can broadcast live from here. And it's like connected to the office right below
Yes.
us, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
That's dedication. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
I want to thank you for everything that you've done. You guys just did a great job. We want to thank you for actually having us come in and do this. And last night you got to investigate with us.
Yes. Yeah, I was investigating certain parts of the house with you, and
So do you get to investigate? Or do you have many groups come in here to investigate?
every so often I have a couple groups from the Gettysburg area that will investigate. It's not very often that people want to book the entire inn, so
So who's your favorite?
I'm having a great time with this group, and I also so yes.
Well said.
And but there's, I also have some fun with some other people in the Gettysburg area that do book with other groups and have their party with the paranormal after party. Sometimes I've had a good time with them at times too.
Great. Enjoy it. So if you would like a great place to come, be entertained, great meals, great rooms, and have great investigations, you might want to think about the Fairfield Inn.
I'm also going to offer a discount for any listeners. Monday through Thursday, either of our suites, the 3 Colonel Suite or the 1757 Suite, 10% off. Do an online booking for a night, Monday through Friday night, anytime, with the code Paranormal View. You'll get a 10% discount for those rooms.
Wow. Listen to that. Yes, sir.
Of course, it's not retroactive, Henry, so, calm down.
Well,
I took care of Henry, though. Don't worry.
Oh, excellent.
This is actually the best EVP we've ever heard. Henry's not here. He's a ghost.
He said that.
He said he took care of you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow, that just...
Whack 'em good.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah,
everyone's just shaking their
Do I hear a mandolin playing?
It's a banjo.
It's a banjo.
One ding, 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 ding.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Barbara, you got some more questions? Because I know you usually have a ton.
Well, I'm interested in the background of the inn and when did it set up to be an inn, or and what type of activity from the war was around there. Obviously, there was a battle, but what role did the location play in the battles?
I was having a little trouble hearing it. It said, what drew me to this?
No, she says she's aware that there was a battle in Fairfield, but
Yes.
what role did the inn play?
Well, 8 months before Gettysburg, the inn played a role of being robbed by Jeb Stuart and his cavalry. They stole our whiskey, flour, and rum. From our next door neighbor, they robbed for general supplies, and they kidnapped our postmaster. After the Battle of Gettysburg, when the Confederate troops marched past here, the inn and local town folks fed the Confederate troops the ham and bean soup, and chicken and biscuits has also been rumored to have been served to some of the officers. Robert E. Lee, I'm told, did actually have dysentery at the time with the Battle of Gettysburg, so he probably did not want ham and bean soup.
So after
He wasn't even on the Oregon Trail.
After the battle took place, the Confederate troops came through Gettysburg, came through Fairfield on their retreat home. About half the Confederate army marched past the Fairfield Inn.
but they took care of the wounded.
We did also become a hospital. The house across the street and then the church 2 buildings away also became hospitals in town. And it's been well documented on their hospital.
Would have that been treating the Confederates as they come through, or would it have been
usually in the Gettysburg area, the Union troops were treated first. There were times where the Confederates were left out in the fields to die, unfortunately, a little bit longer. But we did treat both Union and Confederate troops.
And the room that I have, which is called the 3 Colonels room, was used for long-term care.
Yes, I was always told it was used for long-term care for 3 officers after the Battle of Gettysburg.
Do you know what the officers' names was?
It's written down somewhere. I do not remember their names off the top of my head.
Give me a minute, I'll get it.
Yes.
Okay.
If there's a paper that has it.
And by long-term, what were their wounds?
What were their wounds?
Do not know.
Yeah. But obviously they couldn't move.
I did not do this research, so I'm not sure. I've heard different things over the years, but according to the research that was done before I was here, Colonel D.H. Christie, Lieutenant Colonel R.D. Johnston, both of the 23rd North Carolina, and Lieutenant Colonel W.J. Greens of Rhodes staff sought refuge at the inn, with scores more of Confederate wounded until the roads were cleared.
So those were all 3 Confederate officers?
Yes.
Very good. So what spirits have you heard that are here in the inn?
Well, we, Kat and everyone was excited this morning about a mixed lady that they met. That's Kat said. She said she got paid.
Oh, yes. So we were actually in Tina's room last night during the investigation, and we ran into a woman who was... Do you want to come and share the story, Tina? You're like champing at the bit here. It's okay. Come on in. Bye, Steve.
Bye, Steve. Boy, that was quick.
That's the second time. So please start us off, because you were present when she walked in.
Okay, we were in the room and we noticed that the corner of the room was starting to get darker and darker, and a woman manifested. This was actually a very beautiful mixed race woman. She had very, like an aquiline nose, very long neck. Her hair was done very well.
She had the best cheekbones.
She was very beautiful. And her hair was done nicely, and she had a net that held it up. I mean, she was very vivid. We could see her. Not all of us, but a lot of us could. She had a red and white patterned dress on. She was just a really beautiful woman. And while we were there, we kept asking questions using the K2 every time it lit up as a way for her to answer us. And one of the questions we asked was, what was your name? And we kept saying, it's an L name, it's an L name. I said Lita, and then no blip on the K2, so we figured, okay, that's not it. And then we came up with
Lucella.
Lucella.
Yeah, it was just the name popped into my head. It was just Lucella, and when I just said, "Is it Lucella?" the thing went to bright red.
Red, yeah. So we all that's her name. So that we started calling her that. And then one of the things that she kept saying over and over again was she was born here. She was born here. We got out of her that what we thought was that she was an upper housemaid, which would have been somebody who would have cleaned the bedrooms of the people who owned the house instead of just like a parlor maid for downstairs. And she was very proud of her position.
Yeah.
And she kept saying over and over again that she got paid.
Yeah. It was, I got paid.
I got paid.
That was how she said it to me. I got paid.
Yeah, over and over again. She was born here. She had never been a slave, and
she was
paid.
Very emphatic. She's like, I've never been a slave.
No.
And there was another gentleman in the room as well, but we can talk about him later.
Yes.
So downstairs in the tavern area. That's actually where breakfast is served. So we go downstairs, and we're having the wonderful chicken and waffles. It's fantastic.
Yes.
I don't know what the secret is to the fried chicken here, but it's so much better than KFC. And bam, mic drop. Other than I still need to use it. And yeah, who found the photo? You're all done.
I pointed it out to Darcy. She was talking about how everyone said, and as the word she used, a mulatto was that. And there was a story about, according to the history someone did, they had a picture of a lady next to Thaddeus Stevens' picture, and they said it was the woman that she ran around with, who some people said she was a business partner. Some people said it was more than that, depending on what people thought of Thaddeus Stevens, what they would call her. And but she was left a lot of money, so I mentioned that little bit of a story to Darcy.
Yeah, Darcy.
Yeah. And we were just talking about it, and I said, well, there's a picture of her over by the wall, and I don't think it's based on Wikipedia and looking a little bit more about it. I don't think it was the lady that would have been with Thaddeus Stevens, but she pointed out, does it look like this lady? And everyone said, wow, that is her.
Yeah, it looks a lot like her. I can't say that it's definitely her, but the best part was that we found out the woman's name was Lydia.
Yeah, Lydia.
So I was close.
We were so close, and I was wondering why it was hitting so much on Lucella.
Yeah.
Because it's a unique name.
It is.
Yeah, and then Henry kept making sure it wasn't Drusella.
No.
You're the one that kept saying, it wasn't Drusella, wasn't it? Like, no, it was.
No, she was very emphatic that it was an L name.
Yeah, I kept seeing the not cursive script, but calligraphy script for an L. So it was definitely Lucella. And yeah, she wore nice button-up shirt.
Yes, very, very well dressed. And she was very proud of her position and her clothing and the way she looked. And she held herself very erect, as though she knew where her position was and how high up in the household she was.
Now, I just wanted to let everybody know, because we have so many people that's going to be talking with us tonight and stories and things going on, we're probably not going to take a break.
Probably not.
Pretty much.
We're just zooming right through.
But
that's what I figured.
Barbara, where do we have listeners at tonight?
I have to scroll back to the list I just gave, Jeff.
I can say it.
We got listeners. Go ahead, Jeff.
We have listeners tonight in the U.S., the UK, Singapore, Australia, Ireland, and Manila.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, is that turned down?
And
Can you hear now?
What?
Can you repeat what you just said, Jeff?
Oh, yeah. We have listeners tonight in the U.S., the UK, Singapore, Australia, Ireland, and Manila.
Okay, did you hear it this time? Boy, it was
yes.
We figured out the headset.
Oh, they had the button turned
Yeah,
on?
we did.
Yeah, I had it down too low.
Okay. That's good then. Glad you could hear that. And I'm sure that Barbara will check back a little later or often and see if we even have more listeners from other places.
Yeah.
We didn't have them from the dark side of the moon tonight
not
for some reason.
This time.
Yeah.
What?
So, but they still might tune in. So who knows?
We know that from the instant we came here, things started happening. We should tell them about what happened to us the very first night.
Oh, yes, we should. And also, are you okay to hang out here for a while?
Yeah.
Or okay. So yes, Tina and I had. I'm gonna say this place rolled out the red carpet for them.
Can you give me a couple minutes? I want to take care of some stuff. I
Yeah.
want to get that open sign down.
Yeah,
Go
Tina
right
and I
ahead.
will
So
tell
my
our story.
chef can plan on going home. Or...
Yeah, and then come on up whenever you're able to come back.
Yes, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Bye, Josh.
Okay. Your story, and then we get
Yes.
All right.
someone else
So
up there, too.
this place rolled out the paranormal red carpet for us from the minute we walked in, and what was it? We
Thursday night, we were basically the only ones here.
Yeah, we were, but Henry and Patsy, and then Tiffany and Joe. Where did Tiffany go?
She went back downstairs.
Hey, Greg.
Yeah.
They surprised Tiffany and Joe surprised us.
Yes,
that
we
was
didn't think
wonderful.
we were going to be able to be here.
Yeah. So everyone had a fun time. We socialized, and then around, I'm going to say 9 p.m., they left, and we went back to our rooms. And we weren't the only people staying in the inn, but we're the only part of our particular group at the inn at the time. And you are staying in
The
which is the name? The Star Room.
Major Star something, yes.
Yeah, the Major Star room, which is on the 3rd floor, and I am in the Grumble Jones room, which is on the 2nd floor, the infamous Grumble Jones room.
That's the room I was in last year.
Yes, it was, and you had people visiting last year.
Yes.
So
we come up the steps, and Kat's about to go into her room, and I'm going by.
Yes, we're just standing in the doorway chatting, saying our goodnights, and I look at the interior of the room, and I look back at Tina, and I go, there's a dude in here.
And I just went, okay.
Yeah. She's like, I know what to expect. I was here last year. So what I did was I unpacked my laptop, which is it's a Microsoft Surface Pro, and it's one of those where the keyboard comes unattached, and it does all sorts of somersaults and everything. And I got this distinct impression in this room that something was amazed by the fact that it was a large color, bright screen, and I was typing like a typewriter onto it. And I undo the keyboard, and I just kind of feel this gasp. And then I FaceTimed with my husband in the room to say, hey, I'm alive, everything's fine. And there was someone in the room, it was still this male entity, just flabbergasted that I was able to just talk to another person who clearly wasn't in the room, and he could hear it back. Hang up on FaceTime, clean up, get ready for bed, and then I watch my guilty pleasure, which is Korean dramas. And I got this feeling in the room of, that's not in English. And I remember just thinking back, yes, it's in Korean. And I have a Bluetooth headset on, so I'm not disturbing anyone else. And he's just like, you can hear it from there. There's no wires. And I'm like, yeah. And come on in, guys. So I'm done with the show. I put everything away. I get into bed for the night, and I'm like, okay, time to go. Out. Just go. Out. I don't let any ghost or entity stay in the room when I'm sleeping. Tina, take it away.
So I'm ready for bed. I'm sitting on the bed, and I'm playing a video game on my phone, and all of a sudden there's a head at my shoulder, and it was a man. And there's this guy, and he's looking over my shoulder. He's watching everything on my phone. Now, I didn't react. I just let him watch, and all I heard was colorful. I was like, well, yeah. I said, I keep my screen really bright. I like it that way. And he's watching, and I wait a few more minutes, and I go, can I help you? He goes, Kat sent me. I'm thinking, did she send that guy up here to bug me? Well, a few minutes later, I went to bed, and I just said, okay, good night, you need to go. And that was it. So the next morning, I come down to breakfast. Kat's already there, and I look at her, and I said, did you send somebody up to me last night?
Yes. I just look at her, and I go, uh-oh.
So I start describing what had happened and what the man looked like, and I say one thing, Kat says another. Next thing you know, we realize we're describing the same male entity.
Yeah.
So this male entity now has a nickname. He's Techno Guy.
Yep.
And Techno Guy likes anything that has a big, bright, colorful screen.
Yeah, like this morning I was sending emails because I'm helping to coordinate this entire event. So I'm constantly... I'm probably annoying all of you now with the amount of emails and texts I'm constantly
I just delete them.
Oh, okay.
No,
You're just ignoring them outright. But I was writing another email saying this is where we're going to be. We're meeting up at this time and everything. And he came back. And he was just like, what you doing? Like, he's a very curious man. And I'm like, oh, well, I am mailing everyone. You know mail. And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm mailing everyone simultaneously, and they will get it on their phones, which we can read the mail on. And he's like, no way. He's just completely stunned. I think he appreciates the fact that we're actually explaining how this technology is working.
Yes.
And relating it back to him. And the man's from about the turn of the 20th century.
Yeah.
And Edwardian era. And middle-aged.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think that I have ever been here that something hasn't happened.
Yeah. No,
So-
something. And, Kat and... Well, Carrie's not going to talk, but we need to talk about what happened this morning, which delayed us about 20 minutes.
Yeah. All right,
Oh,
guys.
and Tammy.
I'm going to head out and hand over the microphone to somebody else.
Yeah. Tammy's come up. Come on back, Kat. Yes.
Did it happen to her too?
Yes, it happened to all three of us. It happened to all of us.
Except me.
You weren't here, sir.
I missed out on all of it.
Oh, by the way, how was your bed and breakfast?
Fine. I never had any problems, never felt nothing, never seen nothing. And it's supposed to be, the room that we're in is supposed to be haunted by a little girl.
Okay.
But we haven't seen her, heard anything. So, I don't know. Patsy's there by herself right now. So,
you're listening to the show.
Listening to the show. So I might hear all kinds of stories when I get back home.
Yeah, really. I'm curious. So welcome back, Tabby Cat.
Hello.
And Tammy.
Hello.
Yes.
Right.
So we had shenanigans happen to us this morning. That about half an hour's worth of shenanigans? Like lots of walking up and down.
Close to it. Well, first of all, last night, Tammy came up to me and she says, I can't get our door open.
Yeah, last night.
And the shock was, like, well, it's probably just stuck. Just push on it. And she says, it's not stuck. There's something wrong. It's locked or something. So I go up there and push on the door, and sure enough, it is indeed pretty well locked. It's not stuck. But I go ahead and push on it, and then I hear a distinctive click, and after I heard the click, I pushed on the door, and it opened.
Okay.
So it was almost like somebody opened the deadbolt.
Right.
They unlocked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the inside.
Yeah, and for our listeners out there, every single guest room in this building has two deadbolts. There's a top and a bottom. When you stay here, the only key you get is for the bottom deadbolt. The top one is for your security once you're in the room and you're supposed to lock it.
Yep.
So none of us have keys to the second deadbolt.
Right. And then this morning, we were trying to get everything completely organized and get out on the battlefield and do what we needed to do. And I go to lock my door, and it flat out...
Well, you missed your keys first.
Well, I went to lock it, and when it didn't lock the first time, I thought, well, I'm just going downstairs to the breakfast room, so not worried about it. So I went back in the room, and I put my key on the dresser and walked away.
Okay.
And as we were getting ready to leave, Tammy's complaining again.
I was trying to get her attention, and she was too busy trying to find the key and walked down the steps and ignored me.
No, but she was saying it won't open. Our door won't open. It's locked again. It's locked again.
And I was smiling because I thought, I can't believe this is happening again. Everybody's going to think I'm crazy.
No, but after I walked back into my room to get the key to lock it, I could not find the key.
Yeah.
It was missing.
That's when I walked by.
And
by this time, I had grabbed Kat's attention and was like, somebody needs to come up here and make sure that I'm not the crazy one trying to open this door.
But then Josh had to open her door for her.
So, stopping you there, so the reason why I had walked past Kat and got the attention of Tammy was because I couldn't find my keys. And I'm looking everywhere. I look in my purse. I look on the table where I had been sitting. I look at the windowsill ledge where I had been sitting and could not find them. And I remember calling up to you, Kat, when you were trying to lock the door the first time. And I said, did I leave my keys in the door? Because I am famous for leaving keys in the door.
And I checked, and your keys were not in the door.
So I'm standing in the front foyer looking for my keys, and I finally found them just in a pocket of my purse, which I knew I had checked, and previously the phone had occupied it, and I don't know how. So they just magically showed up. So something was playing with the keys.
Yeah.
And then Tammy asked me to go upstairs.
Wait, I must have to mention that I just walked down 3 flights of steps
Yes, 3 flights.
to get the keys from my dad, which everybody knows Rockworth the Shock is my dad, just so you all know. But anyway, So I went back up to 3 flights of steps to thought, okay, maybe they unlocked it because I previously said, can you unlock the door? It was still locked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and so we got a question from our audience. It says, do the doors swing in? It's against fire regulations. Yes, a lot of them, the original doors swing in, but the rest of them do swing out.
Right. So after I went back in the room to find the key and it was missing off of the dresser, I immediately started checking everything. I checked on the floor, around my purse, I double-checked my own pockets, you name it, and I just went over to the bed and I had thrown my my pajamas on the bed. I picked up my pajamas. They're underneath my pajamas.
So why is that so mysterious? You could have had the keys laying on the bed and you threw the pajamas on them.
Because you put them on the dresser.
Pajamas were already on the bed and I put the keys on the dresser.
Yeah. Oh, and I also will note that my microfiber cleaning cloth for my camera had been safely tucked inside my luggage, which had been closed, and I found it, it's bright orange, sitting in the middle of my room, like tucked like it was a little tent, like somebody had set it up. And I looked at it and I'm like, well, somebody is playing around with us today because it lost my keys.
I guess they couldn't figure out how to fold it into a swan.
I guess not. That would have been awesome. So I had lost my keys. Tabby had lost her keys, and
I was locked out.
And and Tammy was locked out. So Tammy, I could hear crying from the top of the staircase, hey, can somebody come up and double check this? Because I remember distinctly Steve saying to her, hey, go upstairs and get your stuff. And you came down and you're like, hey, Dad, I'm locked out. And he's like, no, the door is stuck. Go try again. And yeah, I heard you go upstairs. And then I was upstairs and he said, hey, Kat, can you double check this door? I go up there and the dang thing was dead bolted. And you could see the shadow of the deadbolt through the crack of the door. And I sat there and I'm like, yeah, I don't know how you've managed it, but it's deadbolted.
And I said, can you go tell my dad because he's going to think I'm crazy.
So I did let him know as I walked and I found Josh and I was like, hey, Josh. And he's like, what's up? And I'm like, we need the key to the deadbolt to the 3 colonels' room because it's locked itself. And he just looked at me, shook his head. He already had the keys with him. So I just walked right upstairs and opened the door. And with that, I think we were about 20 minutes late to meeting you at Devil's Den because of all the shenanigans.
Yeah.
That was our morning.
Yeah, and right after that, I tried to lock my room, and it would not lock.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It would not lock. And then we finally got it locked.
Yeah, I took the keys and locked it.
Yeah, and then when we got back this afternoon, I couldn't lock it again before I came up here, and Josh actually had to maneuver it, and it wouldn't lock for him either.
Oh, really?
And he kept saying, this door I've never had any problems with until you guys got here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Barbara, you got any questions? Jeff?
Oh, not offhand.
Okay.
Although I did just find out that at 56 years old, Aaron Moran of Happy Days just died.
Oh,
really?
Oh, dear.
I'm like, all these people younger than me are dropping. What is going to happen?
Well, just keep standing up. You'll be okay.
Wow. Incredible.
All right. We need to get some others on here. Our time is, just shooting right on by, and we still got lots of people to talk with.
Oh, yeah, we do.
Don, why don't you come up here?
The threatening pointer finger of Henry's. I want to say hi, Nancy.
Come on. Yeah, no, you get up here and talk too. What do you mean no?
Do it!
No, you have to get up here and talk.
It doesn't have to be too long.
Yeah.
I'm curious about how your day went.
Her date.
Day.
Oh.
Day. We need to pull together and get Henry some hearing aids.
What?
Don't you start to. All right. Before we ask them, Nyla did respond to what we was talking about a while ago. She said she asked the little girl to listen into the show with her, but she hasn't seen anything. And so that's it. She's still trying to get the little girl to say something. Don, I want to thank you for coming down from Northern Ohio. And Nancy, you come from New Jersey?
Yeah.
Okay.
We got a lot of Jersey people here today.
Yes.
Where in New Jersey?
A little town nobody's ever heard of called Mountain Lakes.
I grew up in Pompton Plains, so don't tell me I don't know my Pompton Lakes.
Yes. Don, you came from Northern Ohio, a little bitty town.
Yeah, Bryan, Ohio.
Yep.
And thanks for inviting me. This has been a good time.
Yeah.
I'm glad you've had a great time. And Nancy, this is Nancy's second time being with us. You was here at the David Stewart Farm with us last year. And I met you at the David Stewart Farm at a meet and greet.
At the Gettysburg, the Paranormal Gathering, yes.
And we did that, and I got your book, and we had you on, I don't know, 4 or 5 months ago, something like that.
Yeah.
And great book. And that was I Met a Ghost in Gettysburg. So have you met any other ghosts?
Well, my last trip in Gettysburg, I've been really intrigued with the spirit box based on my earlier experiences. And on Barlow's Knoll, we were kind of wandering around. I was trying out the spirit box. I tried to record it. I need to fine-tune that. It didn't work, but was asking, is anyone here? I got clear yes. So, well, what's your name? Christopher. Well, what's your full name, Christopher? Christopher couldn't understand it. I asked again and again, got 3 times, couldn't understand it. So I thought, well, were you hit? He says, yes. I said, where were you hit? Unintelligible. I said, I'm sorry, Christopher, I couldn't understand you. Where were you hit? In the arm. Asked Christopher, where are you from? And I started rattling off the northern units, northern regiments. No response, no response. My friend who was with me thought, well, okay, that was a Georgia regiment that overran this position, maybe, or Georgia brigade, pardon me. He thought maybe he's from Georgia. So I said, are you from Georgia? I am, almost an insulted inflection to the voice. And then he seemed not happy with us, and we couldn't get any further response, but I found that one rather interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
And you was in the basement to start with last night, Nancy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And Don was too.
Yes.
What did you guys find down there?
Honestly, I was not picking up anything down there. This has got to be, and I probably told you this, it's got to be one of the most active places that I know of. And I stayed here many, many years ago, like maybe 8 years ago, and had some of the most amazing direct confrontations in the room we stayed in with 3 different spirits.
Which room did you stay in? Do you remember?
Oh, yes, because... yeah. I did not know it at the time. It was the Jeb Stewart room.
Oh, okay.
And I was in there with my daughter, and I got woken up by somebody walking. I could hear the footsteps right next to the bed, maybe 5 feet away, and I looked up in my mind's eye, not my physical eyes. I immediately saw the person who I later learned was Jeb Stewart.
Okay.
I could describe him perfectly. He looked at me. He was as shocked as I was to see me looking at him, and neither one of us knew what to do. He froze. I froze. And, that was, so then I quickly closed my eyes. I didn't want to go. There's another spirit, younger guy, pacing back and forth by the fireplace. And at some point about 5 a.m, there was somebody pounding. I mean pounding on the door. I could see the shadows of the feet underneath the door. I could hear the floorboards creaking. There was nobody in this entire inn because there was a huge snowstorm that night. There was one other couple. They were right next to us, and they were sound asleep. But anyway, I found out later that because I started researching who could that have been, and I said, oh, there was a plaque on the door. It said General Jeb Stuart. Good. I came back here several years later, and I said to the owner, I went up to look at that room, but there's no plaque on the door, that says General Jeb Stuart. And where's the plaque? And he said, oh, there was never, ever a plaque on that door.
Huh.
But that's how I identified him. So this is a crazy place. It's really
active.
It's very active.
And I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So, nothing so much in the basement. Did you pick up on anything since you've been here?
Nothing. I have a hard time tuning in. To be perfectly honest, when there are a lot of people around, I tend to pick up on people's energies.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very, very difficult for me to, switch gears, so to speak, to tune into spirit. So to me, it's so clear to me that it's active. I can feel the energy. I mean, I could sit in various locations and it's like my entire body is just vibrating with a huge amount of energy. But in terms of identifying specific spirits like I did back then, I didn't have that experience this time around.
Okay. Hey, Celine, have you?
I mean, I had a little connection downstairs in the basement, but it was fleeting. Generally, I mean, I had a sense that it had to do with the Underground Railroad. I very clearly saw a young black man in his late-ish 20s, maybe early 30s, with a white button down and suspenders, but it very quickly went away. And the K2 bleeped a little bit at that point, but that was it for me.
Okay, and that's interesting. I didn't know that the hotel was a stop on the Underground Railroad. And there is up on this third floor a little peekaboo window that has been cut out with some plexiglass, and you can see where escapees were stuffed basically to hide while I guess bounty hunters were around. Is that right?
Yes. There were stories, and free blacks in Gettysburg people would try to abduct them and take them back into the city or back down into the south.
Yeah, that happened a lot all across the country. So it's really, and there's a very spooky photo that was taken about 2 years ago that we tried debunking, and we could not do it today. So Craig should talk about that.
Yeah,
and he's left again.
Craig
Yeah, he keeps leaving.
We need to get him up here.
Yeah, so Dawn. Oh, yeah, show it to you. It's interesting. Dawn. You and I went out to a place today.
Yes, to Little Round Top.
Yes, we did. And it was very interesting. It was kind of misting out. And Tiffany was here as well. We really should get Tiffany here. Where did she go? Oh. We have people constantly going in and out of this place. So So Dawn came up to Tiffany and I at lunch today, and we did the yearly pilgrimage to Tommy's Pizza for Henry. Correct?
I'm sorry, I was...
We did go to Tommy's.
What'd you say?
Earth to Henry.
Remember, you're on live radio, right?
I know, but I was...
What? What? Anyway, so during lunch, Dawn comes over to... Well, we were sitting at the same table. There was no coming over. But to Tiffany and I says, well, I want you two, who are mediums, to come with me and find my family members. And we go. And we get out of the car, and he looks at me and he goes, okay, and makes a hand motion like around little round top. And I look at everything and I'm like, all right, this is the first time. So I start walking up the hill because we actually, oh, what's up? Henry is literally fading away. Mike is just taking a photo.
Becoming translucent or something?
Yeah.
He's transparent.
He's kind of transparent. Yeah, Mike is showing me, he's taking a photo on Mike the Paranormal Man, which we have to have you come speak in a minute. Took a photo of Henry, and it looks like Henry is fading away into Like we have accidentally, somebody has gone back in time and inadvertently erased Henry from history. That's what it kind of looked like. So anyway, I have never done.
It's all the jet lag.
It's all the jet lag. I have never done what Dawn has requested before. I believe Tiffany is a little bit more experienced with this particular side of mediumship. I just have dead people walk up to me and tell me their stories. I never actually go out searching for someone.
Yeah, I appreciated you guys doing that.
Yeah, it was a fun experience, and maybe we'll talk a little bit more about it when we get Tiffany on if she's willing to talk. Because this really is like with Tina and I. This is a dual thing, but we found some interesting things.
Yeah, I was very impressed with how, especially Tiffany, was just keyed into what happened at Little Round Top and to the areas where I have felt a connection.
Mm-hmm. So, Nancy, you and Celine, where did you go today?
We went shopping.
Oh, we went shopping. Okay, I did that yesterday, so I understand.
Yeah, you went to a cat diorama.
Oh, I also went to a cat diorama. I did all the things we haven't done before in previous trips. It's been fun.
Now, we had a good time. We looked at the rain, though. We said, oh, no, do we really want to go around all over the battle? I've been on this battlefield many, 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 many times.
Mhm.
So I said, maybe shopping is sounding good today.
Yeah, but you are also staying at the David Stewart farm.
Yes.
How is that? You want to come up here? You can share a mic with me.
I'm sure she could explain
Okay.
but it is
So,
interesting. Yeah.
Well, so after, I think we must have left here, it must have been around 1:30 in the morning or
Yes.
so. Went back there, and we took the room that is supposed to be the room where they did the battlefield amputations and such.
Okay, that's where I
And
stayed
of
last
course-
year.
Yeah, I know. I know that. So, and I said, well, she could do it. We could do it. So Celine immediately went to sleep pretty much. And okay.
We have a protest from the gallery.
And I was awake most of the night. And of course, I'm listening for everything and I'm watching everything and I'm, nothing till really, I would say somewhere around 5 o'clock in the morning, there was some banging that was going on. There were some strange, I don't know if it was the animals or what, walking around, but nobody came in to see us.
Mm-hmm.
We were fine. The only thing that happened today was that as we were talking, the lights went out.
Okay.
Did that happen to you?
No, not there. That happened to us at the Pry House. They came back
They
on?
came back on. I think it's
Yeah.
interesting to mention.
Yeah. So, the animals at the place are very... Actually, the living animals, I'm going to preface this, are very chill and generally walk around and are pretty quiet.
Yeah.
The ones that have passed away and come back are the ones you need to watch out for.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah, we had a group of them that decided they picked beds. So
Yeah.
they were all over the place.
Yeah.
By the way, which reminds me, the thing that really annoyed me when I was doing the investigation yesterday or last night was that my recorder, which I had checked, it was fully charged, the whole business, and I turned it on, and that thing was dead as a doornail.
Mm-hmm.
I reloaded it, fresh batteries, dead as a doornail, wouldn't turn on. That's never happened with that.
Mm-hmm.
Brought it back here tonight, turned it on, and it's on.
Oh,
no
it
problem.
works.
Oh, it's just and it reminds me a little bit about the story about the doors, because locking and deadbolting by themselves. And I've been to other locations where the spirits weren't really happy with the renovations that were going on, and they locked everybody out.
That's smart, actually.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just like, that is a good trick.
But I sort of get the same feeling with the, when the batteries get drained out of different whatever you're using, it's almost like not just because they're pulling the energy, but sometimes I really get the feeling they just don't want you to be, getting it down.
Right. Yeah. And where did you lose the energy for your recorder? Which room or area?
It was down, the main sitting room.
Yeah.
Where we were organizing. It was
in the front.
Yeah, and it was right off the bat.
Oh wow.
I mean, just done.
Yeah, my K2 meter, as soon as it walked into Tina's room, it died and it never came back.
And somebody else's equipment died too.
Yeah, Darcy's equipment kept dying.
And then shortly after that, that's when my grid died.
Yeah.
It went.
Oh, so you had massive equipment failure up here. Okay. Good to know.
Right. Got drained as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like after the basement.
Oh.
Immediately.
Wow.
So, you guys both had good times then. Did you have a good weekend?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I mean, I love this. I really appreciate being invited along. This is fantastic.
Well, sure. You guys are always invited.
And I
next year-
agree. This was just a wonderful time. Spent
Well, next
very
year,
illuminating.
wherever we decide we're going to do it and when, bigger and better.
But we definitely have to come back here.
I was going to say bigger and better than here.
Yeah, that's going to be hard. Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't always better.
So, So we'll decide where, when, and all the other good stuff. And eventually we might even try to set up like a fall thing too. I know I'm going to be at Hillview Manor in September. I'm not sure on the dates. It's kind of late September. They have a meet and greet. They call it HillCon. But people can set up there and sell or promote or whatever. And then after the show, you can go investigate. And have you ever been to Hillview Manor?
Never.
I have not either.
Okay.
I
It who? You have.
Yes, it's
It is.
fabulous.
It is a very active place,
Yeah.
and she's a witness to that too.
That'd be great.
So, but if we get to do something like that, we'll
Yeah.
sure.
So, moving on, I know a lot of our listeners have just noticed something, or now have piped up. Where's Pat? They noticed that Pat is not with us this year. Yes. So, Pat had a death in the family and was not able to join us this year.
Yes.
But in solidarity, Henry is wearing the Ghost Soldier's hat.
Yes.
And we do miss him. We miss him a lot, and I'm sure he would have had us hiking all over new locations in Gettysburg, and we would all have been terrified of getting ticks because there's a lot of tall grass.
Yes.
But we do miss you, Pat. We do.
And I want to thank you guys for actually taking time to come out, you and your daughter.
Oh,
Yes,
you're so
this is
nice.
wonderful.
Yeah, you guys are great. Thank you.
Well, we appreciate it. And, of course, we'll have you guys back again. You was great on the show. We've had you on the show. We've had most of the people that's here
Yeah,
we have
we've had
had
on the show.
And
And they look so excited.
Yeah. I don't understand how you guys want to keep coming back here to be with all
Neither
the
do we.
nuts.
Yeah. Oh, we're good company, says Tammy.
But it
Oh,
seems
thank you.
like everybody has a great time ragging on me. So
Yep, we're roasting you hard this year, Henry.
Oh, in all seriousness, this is a great group of people, and I have had a wonderful time. Been a great learning experience for me.
Good.
Thank you.
excellent. Appreciate it.
All right.
And let's see, we got Mike. We got
got
a few
Mike.
minutes.
I can't find
Did
him.
you go outside and look for him?
My dad said he
If
texted
not,
me.
So we've
No, I
lost
can't.
Bigfoot that we
Yeah.
know as Craig.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me go
we
find
can
him.
sit back down for a few minutes and
Yeah, I was hoping to say hi to Craig.
Tammy,
hopefully.
Find Tiffany.
find Tiffany.
Tiffany's not going to come
No,
on.
Tiffany's done that one.
Want to talk?
No.
Okay. So
Because
we'll talk about the experience after. We'll let Josh back on, and then we'll come
by
back.
all means, yeah.
So, Josh, you're not on. You're on LinkedIn, but you're not on social media per se, like Facebook or Twitter yourself.
Me?
Yeah.
You.
Yes, I'm on
Mingle.
Facebook.
I can't find you on
I
Facebook.
keep it a little hidden. I had bosses in the past try to stalk me and stuff, and they knew before the interview that I liked Star Wars and commented about that all the time. And
Why, were they? They're not fans of the prequels, are they?
Yeah.
I
you can
have
always
some
let
respect
Jeff
in that
know.
I love the Star Wars trilogy and the original AT-AT Walkers and Empire Strikes Back, but everyone occasionally makes a bad mistake, and
Like
Jar Jar.
letting Lucas take over the storyline again.
Yeah.
After
At
Empire.
least we got movies.
No George bashing.
Yeah. I can't get Carrie. She won't come in and talk with me. But we do have.
Come on over here.
We
Come
have Craig. We're going to talk with Craig. We only have 2 hours, and try to get a lot of time for everybody. It's almost impossible. But we're trying to get everybody on, at least to talk some. And since Josh is our host, I guess we've had him on probably the most. But since Pat wasn't here, we had somebody else who everybody knows who has co-hosted our show. He was a co-host here, and he does come in from time to time, and we try and get him back. And it's Craig Rupp. So,
how's everybody doing? I kind of feel like Damon. Oh, hey, our time's up.
No, your time's not up. But we want to thank you for actually taking people out and showing them some different places and leading us around today. You didn't get to investigate last night. Are you going to investigate tonight with us?
We've been investigating the whole time, so
already?
We already got some great EVP. So
I don't believe you.
As soon as what we got? 5 minutes left? Yeah.
No, we got about 8 minutes.
No, we got some great EVPs. Why you guys were doing the show?
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good. Where'd you get them?
I think Carrie should come over here and talk about it. Because they were.
What's this? No. Little
Don't be
loud?
Mike
What?
Shy.
I didn't hear you. What?
I don't wanna.
By the way, Craig?
Yes, Jeff.
Michelle Browning in the chat room says hi. As do I, of course.
Michelle, hello. Thank you for all your help. And Jeffrey, you know what I'm talking about.
Woohoo!
And I hope to see you soon, buddy.
I'm still waiting for a package in the mail.
No, you will get it. I'm waiting. Michelle, that's why. So.
Wow.
This has been really fun showing you guys around, and I've actually learned some things. We were at Sachs Bridge and the Shriver House today, and Henry showed us how they originally built the bridge back in the day.
He helped build it, didn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
He was explaining all that to us, and it was very interesting. Then we went to the Shriver House, and he was telling us how him and George built the bar. Very interesting.
Yeah, I think it was very well done.
Well, I
the only thing in the building that was plumb.
As I told him, it took me a little longer because I couldn't get the nails from Craig. That fixed you, didn't it?
My headphones are falling off.
So you're going to investigate with us tonight and help maybe get some activity going. And you say it's already ramped up. Where was you guys investigating at?
The second floor, the quiet. There's a room back there. I don't know the name of
It's
it.
probably the 1757 suite. It's away from everyone else.
Yes, it's very quiet back there, and we got some great EVPs. So,
If the room is away from people, was it like the servants' quarters?
It was the original part of the house. The house was built in various phases. The original part of the house was built in 1757. Then the main portion of the house where we have 5 of the guest rooms, the tavern, and the tavern was built between 1786 and 1801. And that area, the 2 houses were connected with between like a wooden hallway from what I can tell from pictures that have existed then. That area was kind of taken down and a new dining room was built in the 1970s. But it's a little bit farther, it's a little bit quieter and away from people, so it's a great room to get activity from without having interference from other people.
We were actually, and we all, Joe, we all heard footsteps and this on wood, and it's carpet back there. So we also got that tonight. So
yeah, I've had that happen before in a place that I investigated. It was an old barn converted into a studio, and upstairs where the loft was at is carpeted. And I wasn't up there 15 minutes just asking questions because Patsy was downstairs taking painting classes. And I asked, what's your name? Didn't get no name, but all of a sudden you hear footsteps going across the floor, about 7, 8 footsteps, and then it stopped and you hear a, hey. And the thing about it was when you go back and listen to the recording, it's boots on hardwood floor, but it's all carpeted up there. That's cool. So,
in that room, I've had people put that, one morning me and a guest put his EVP recorder in that room, came down for breakfast, came back. We had some EVPs, and then he went back to play them again, and they deleted.
Really?
Yes.
No.
Oh. Wow.
That's what happens when you don't bring, breakfast up for your ghost.
Yeah. They were craving Eggs Benedict that morning.
So we got Mike with us too, and Mike, you was with us year before last.
Yes,
right?
I was.
And where did we go to year before last? Just out on the battlefield, or?
Yes, we went around the battlefield, and we had a pretty good time doing that. And of course, we were at Mr. G's ice cream parlor.
We did the show from there, right?
And they were active there even during the show, which we all had a great time doing.
Well, great. And you was with us last night.
Yes.
You did the basement?
I did the basement, and I was using my flare quite a bit down there. There seemed to be something like trying to come up out of the floor, but it didn't come all the way out and kept returning. So there's some activity down there, and I haven't reviewed totally the audio and the video I took down there. So I'm hoping to have something there, and I also did some work with the 1757 room.
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't looked at that at all yet, so I'm hoping I got something there because I had a feeling that was going to be active since it's all been a secluded area of the building.
Yes, we're going to investigate it. We're going to take Tina.
All right.
And see what's down there.
Yeah.
All
that ought to turn out real good.
Well, we got Tiffany up here too.
Yeah.
Did you want to call?
That was deer in headlight mode.
I say what?
It's fine. But yeah, I do want to share this story with Dawn and Tiffany. I'm sorry, Mike and Josh.
That's all right.
Do you mind?
Not at all.
Yeah.
Well, let's thank them because
Yes, thank
our time
you.
is running down real
Yeah,
quick.
it is. That's why I want
We
to share
do
the
want to
story.
thank you guys for actually being with us.
Yes.
Always enjoy it.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We appreciate it, and we'll see if, when we're working something else back out here. So we're down to about 12 minutes.
Yes.
So, and you guys, where was you guys at when this was supposed to happen?
We were on Little Round Top, and we
Was
just,
that today?
Yes, this was today. So when your group went to the museum, Dawn, Joe, Tiffany, and I went to Little Round Top. And as we had mentioned earlier in the show, Dawn had approached both Tiffany and I and said, I would like you to find family members for me. You did not give us names.
No,
You did not give us a location besides Little Round Top.
Correct.
You drove us there, opened the doors, and went, and go.
And then I just stepped back and watched.
Yes.
Sounds like a weird, amazing race task.
It kind of was. So immediately I'm walking up to Little Round Top, and that's the famous, really well photographed place. I know Craig takes a lot of photos from up there. It's that large hill, and it has a castle-like structure on it. And I'm walking towards it, going up the hill, and something pulls me to the right down a bike path that I've really never noticed before. And I'm like, well, that's Little Round Top because I'm a dumb tourist, and that's the only place I know being called Little Round Top. And
what about Confederate Avenue?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, Confederate Avenue, the Ballad of Confederate Avenue.
Opposite sides of the battlefield there.
Yeah, we didn't realize it was as long and winding as it was, and we ended up sending you to the opposite side of the national park.
Yes, but you got to experience Oak Hill that way.
Yeah. It was worth it.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's why it took you a little bit longer to get there. Now, when you got out of the car, did you immediately go up the bike path, too?
Yes, only for the fact that you said, hey, come up the bike path. It's paved. I said, okay.
Yeah, because initially
That's true,
I
I
think
did
you
say
were
that.
eyeing this little footpath kind
Yeah.
of snaking up the hill and with the water and the rocks. That
Yeah, I
would
was
not
just like,
be
I don't
good.
want anyone slipping down the slide. So, yeah, I was told by spirit guides going, you want to go right. And I'm like, but I want to go up there. And they're like, no, you want to go right down this bike path. And that's when you arrived.
Mm-hmm.
And I backtracked.
You'd said that you had pointed down over to where we pulled up. And I was like, yes, we know how to make an entrance.
Yeah, it was really good. But ironically, that's not who I was pointing at. You just happened to arrive at that time.
See?
Yeah, it was
You called and I came. No, just kidding.
I sent out the Tiffany signal. So, what happened? We were walking down.
I let you go first.
Yeah.
Because it's hard being two mediums next to each other because each person will pick up on the same things, will pick up on different things, but the energy is just too much sometimes. And, mediums tend to like to work separately because we can relay information off of each other after the fact, and it's hard to do conjointly.
Yeah.
So I tried to give you all some space, and then you came up behind us. And I was like, okay, well, I think we can do this together.
Yeah, we did.
I know. Go team.
Yay!
Yes, you did a great job.
So what did you find?
William. So that was the first one we found.
Mm-hmm.
So Don did not give us any hints, and I will say I have no idea what his family lineage is other than somebody was there.
And thank you for your family's military service. We appreciate that.
Thank you so much, sir. So you just said, find family members for me. And I'm walking, and immediately I ping on a guy named William. And he's like, I'm down this embankment, past this wall. And I just go directly there. And you could feel the energy was different on that part of the bike path. And I go down there, almost like a dense static is how I feel it. And I go down there, just like, I'm going to say a bloodhound. I go one direction, no, I'm going the wrong way, so I backtrack and go the other way around, and I just lead you to this wall with a tree that's about 3 feet away from it. And I said, it's not this wall, but he's just beyond this wall, and his name is William. And you just looked at me with the look that you're giving me right now, which is, okay. And then I look at Tiffany, and I'm like, and now you.
And that's really how she did it.
Yeah.
And I walked further down the wall because I kept being drawn to the specific rock next to a tree. I know we're in a battlefield of rock, wall,
There are
tree.
so many
Who
rocks
knows?
here. So many rocks and
but
boulders.
I kept feeling like I was a sharpshooter, and I was aiming for the trees across the way, and that we were like the stopping point. Like, nobody can come across this wall. I have to just pick off everybody I see. Like, this is the final destination. And there's people operating behind me and all of these things. And I was telling all of this, and he's nodding and agreeing. And then across the wall, I kept seeing Confederates, but it wasn't just Confederate soldiers. It was really like the colors blue and gray. Yep. There was no distinguishable person. Where Kat got William, which was awesome. I got a guy named Josh, which I had no idea who this Josh was. And I was like, I'm sure this doesn't pertain to you, and I don't know who he is, but he's giving me all this random information, so I feel like he's important enough to address. Come to find out, it was Joshua Chamberlain.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
No idea who or what he did, but
Colonel Chamberlain.
Yep. I think Pat would be happy.
But this kind man here corroborated all the stuff that I was getting, because he was saying that his ancestors breached the line, and Josh Chamberlain was like, they most certainly did not. What did he say? They overran the line. They didn't breach my line. I'm like, Well then.
Okay.
And technically, I guess he is right. It was just a very intermingled, very chaotic fight.
But you also pinged on somebody else. Next to the boulder that was his family member.
Oh, yeah, the guy that was on the rock with what I thought was signaling aircraft. He was actually a signaler for the Army trying to direct people in battle movements. And I had no idea what he was doing. I was like, nah, he trying to land aircraft? And
I will say he was kind of flying, like his arms are
it was
going
very
like
hectic. Yeah. I had no idea. I'm just like, oh, what are you doing?
The variant of the chicken dance?
That's
What's going on?
That's the way they do it.
And he was letting people know, like, this is where you need to be, focus energy over here. And then other people were running through the woods. And I remember one time I was like, they're really spaced out. What is going on?
Yeah, so this was the interesting thing. So Tiffany finds Chamberlain, and she backtracks immediately to this boulder where this gentleman is doing his flag motions. And Dawn just looks at me and mouths, wow. Because you had hit exactly where his family had been.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yes, because you were so far in front of us, and
you made a beeline to the last time I was here. I had felt an energy that guided me to that exact spot. I later researched the information. My great-great-grandfather was captured, a member of the 15th Alabama, and in the battle line, his company initially would have been right there on the line.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yay, validation.
So this is the second time you've gone beelining in front of somebody, and somebody has turned to me and gone, wow, she's a really good medium.
I mean, I can't take any credit for it. I talk to dead people.
Yeah.
I talk to dead people.
I mean, honestly, that's where all the information comes from. So it would be very rude of me to say, like, yes, it's all me. It's not. But your ancestors were wonderful. And
they were very helpful.
I'm glad Josh Chamberlain showed up. Honestly, I should probably do research on him because he just showed up on a pony. And I was like, oh, pony. And I had no idea who he was or what he did. And apparently he held a line for a reason.
So William.
And I want to make a note. The William Kat referred to, I had a great uncle in the 47th Alabama, which was to the left of the 15th Alabama, where she keyed in on William is where the 47th would have fought. I actually had two Williams who were great uncles.
Wow.
Another was at Devil's Den. He was not at Little Round Top, but one was. And what is really strange is I had never felt an energy there, but just before you said William, I was feeling a very rather intense energy.
Yeah.
And then you said William right after that. Oh, okay, that you keyed into something very important to me.
Yeah.
What was the other name I got? Was it Jacob?
It was
Johnson,
Jacob.
Something. Jacob.
Well, we also Dawn asked other family names, and I went Johnson, and you went Jacob. And we have.
We're almost out of time.
Yeah.
Yes. I want to thank everybody who's participated in this event this weekend. Traveled a long way. I just hope everybody's had a great time. Everybody is going to want to do it again when we get something set up. We don't know where, but once we figure something out, we'll be letting people know so you can make plans. A lot of the people's already gone out. They're probably already investigating, but I do want to thank everybody for taking the time to be here. Great show. The show will be put on podcast. It'll be up on Podomatic. It'll be up on our site, theparanormalview.com. You can listen to it again whenever. And eventually, hopefully, we'll get it put up on YouTube. It takes a little while for me to get that put up.
Yeah.
But we do appreciate everything. Our time is running out.
Yeah.
I want to thank everybody for being here in the chat room and listening tonight. We've had a wonderful time this weekend. We've still got to investigate some tonight. Did we have somebody for next week?
I don't have them off the top of my head, but after we get off tonight, we are doing a second night of investigating this place, and I know there's already activity going on while we were doing the show. So,
I didn't hear anything on my headset.
Well, it wasn't in here. It's a different part of the building.
So with that, we are going to say goodnight, and want to thank everybody again. Anything you guys got to say, holler it out real quick, because we are signing off. And this is Henry Foister,
Jeffrey Gould,
and Kat Klockow, and
Arvin Clark-Warst.
Good night, everyone.
Good night. We'll see you guys next week at the same time.